Hi, welcome. One of the most bizarre events in history is the preservation of bodies over long periods, and we want to watch a video on how the Egyptians used to mummify a dead person. So please like the video and subscribe to the channel right now. Thank you. Mummification is a process of preserving a deceased person's body in ancient Egypt. The practice of mummification was closely associated with their religious beliefs about the afterlife. The goal of mummification was to prevent the body from decaying and to ensure the preservation of the individual's physical form for the journey to the afterlife. The mummification process typically involved several steps. Preparation. The first step was to wash and cleanse the body. The internal organs such as the brain, liver, lungs, and intestines were removed. The brain was often extracted through the nose using special hooks, while the other organs were taken out through an incision made in the left side of the body. Preservation of organs. The removed organs were treated and preserved separately. The heart was usually left in place as it was believed to be the center of a person's being and was needed in the afterlife. The remaining organs were preserved in special jars called canopic jars. Drying. The body was then dried out. It was covered with natron, a naturally occurring salt, which helped to remove moisture from the body. The natron was left on the body for about 40 days. Wrapping. After the drying process, the body was carefully wrapped in linen bandages. These bandages were often coated with resin to help hold the wrappings in place and provide additional protection to the body. Amulets and charms were placed among the bandages for added protection. Mask and coffin. A death mask, usually made of wood or other materials, was placed over the mummy's head, and the mummy was then placed in a coffin. The coffin was often richly decorated and inscribed with prayers and spells for the deceased's safe journey to the afterlife. Final ceremony. The mummification process was typically accompanied by religious rituals and ceremonies performed by priests. These rituals were meant to ensure the deceased's successful transition to the afterlife. Burial. The final step was the burial of the mummy in a tomb, often accompanied by various burial goods and offerings for the deceased to use in the afterlife. The exact process of mummification could vary over time and by region in ancient Egypt, with some individuals receiving more elaborate mummification procedures than others based on their social and economic status. The quality of mummification could range from simple and utilitarian to highly ornate and intricate. It's important to note that mummification was primarily practiced in ancient Egypt and some neighboring regions, and it was closely tied to their religious beliefs. The process and purpose of mummification were unique to this ancient culture. Thank you for watching the video until the end. If you enjoyed the content of this video, please subscribe right now.